Pick a chair, any chair. Any names? Well, it would have worked because there would have been an issue happening.
Here. I'll sit back at this table. I know I want to go.
Nicely done.
How you doing? Good. I think last time I saw I even offered to put down some of it down.
But I got this stove. I did not get
She's got this one. And keep this right away.
Well, right, it's still feeling good now, but I only got one.
How are you feeling? I feel better.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I just need a motion for the consent agenda and we can get started. Okay, have a second? All in favor? Okay. Opposed? Okay. All right, now. Okay. So we'll go into fire and EMS. So Chief, what you got? Everything's going pretty well. I'd like to thank all the township residents. We've had some really super dry weather. And I don't want to jinx ourselves, but we've been very fortunate. So, with the wildland fire situation and stuff that's going on right now, we've had some big ones already this year. And so, besides that, we're just busy training and making sure we stay on top of what we gotta do. Great, thank you. Ron, you got anything?
I don't have the run numbers with me, but the county did hit run 2,000 today for all of the fire departments. That is roughly, usually we hit 2,000 in the middle of July.
Okay.
So, what, a month and a half ahead? So everybody's busy. Like Jack said, we did have some big fires. Maple Grove had an over 20-acre one yesterday.
Wow, tell me what we got. All right.
I do have one new EMT.
Oh, yes.
Brett, come up front. So Brett has finished his EMT, tested his national registry, received his license yesterday.
Yep. Actually 8:30 this morning.
Okay, 8:30 this morning, he got his license.
8:30 and 13 seconds.
Everyone knows I give him a challenge point. This is the Star of Life. It says Emergency Medical Services, EMT. On the back, it says so others may live. Now the fun stuff.
All right, Tim, you got anything?
Yeah. So the backwaters, the picnic tables have been freshened up, new boards on them. That's all they needed. I mean, framing and everything on them was good. So what else did I? Oh, the parking lot. We added gravel. They brought 2 loads down there. I went down there with a tractor with that rake on it, raked it all out, made that all nice. So hopefully that's good enough for.
The fence is still good down there for a while.
Fence is okay. There's one 4x4 that's cracked off, but the other ones are holding it together. What they back their boats into it or trailers or whatever, but it's all right. I mean, it's leaning a little bit, but
You got an idea for that, right? Instead of the fence?
Yeah, I'd rather take that fence out and then take 4x6 posts, like what we did down here,
yep,
and put them, space them out so far.
yep,
Because if you back into one of those, it's a lot easier than trying to get all that crap down there.
exactly.
So,
And if I can keep them
and
so many
also,
feet apart, then I can mow in between two instead of.
with that bathroom down there, if you get a hold of the Forest Service, they'll let you know where to get that door.
I tried 2 places
Uh-huh.
and I got nowhere.
Well,
And Adams Lumber gave me a name of a place in Grand Rapids where they said you'll for sure get one, but I just haven't dug into it deep enough yet. But the Forestry Service would be another good.
right. Well, because all them doors, like down at Blacksmith and on the other side of the river there, it's all the same.
Yeah.
And that's why we had we were trying to figure out who owned the one down there, because that looks just like one of the other ones, and they're like, oh no, the township owns it, and
Yeah, as long as everything, I don't know how a steel door, that one's got that deadbolt.
yeah,
And the frame, everything is on it is perfect yet, it's
right,
just
just
the
get a
door.
door.
So hopefully that, we can make everything work in that line up, because that's how people close it, they got a
Right.
deadbolt. And yeah, that one's getting pretty bad, it's pretty much bends in half and flops and.
Forestry might have, like Jay said, they might have stock doors where they just do that.
Right.
Put us on where the.
True. Peas
Or
door.
they might even have one.
Yeah, yeah, they might have
I
one.
took measurements of it from top to bottom, hinges and all that, and Adams had one, but it wasn't close enough, I wasn't gonna, they don't give them away.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna try one and they said, no, I wanna find one that's gonna work. So, the backwater should be set, other than the door, the lake, Crystal Lake, I still wanna get the sand from the pile of sand from the cemetery and kinda spread that throughout certain spots, just to, we got a pile of sand there doing nothing, so for the kids fishing and stuff, maybe we could make some nicer little, by the gazebos, little sandy spots and use that up. Spring cleanup was another, I guess you could call it a success. We made it, we all are still alive, and there was quite a line.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of an issue with people not going the way they should, but it worked. It's kinda hard to do. Big thing next year is, I would like to have all 5 trucks here at the same time. They showed up a little bit earlier this year instead of, hey guys, full call. I seen the fourth truck come, and then I asked all the guys, are you full? And they're like, no. Well, if you're here, I'm sticking you in. And then the next one came, and still nobody was full. So we're paying for them to be here, I might as well squeeze them in. So I think the line just is so long in the beginning that if we have all 5 trucks there, it seemed to get people through quicker.
Yep.
If we do that, which I want to, then that means we gotta try to have more people. It's hard to do. I know nobody really enjoys working with people's trash, but I don't either, and I'm there every year. So between everybody, since there's a big group here, spring cleanup is an awesome, it's really fun. We all got along and nobody got hurt, and we try not to have all our volunteers working too hard. The other issue is hopefully with the people that do come with trash, bring somebody to help them. They loaded their trailers, not by themselves.
I think we only had like one instance with that, and then one instance with a lot of loose stuff. And then we had a lot of people that did bring, 4 people in the truck, they pile out, and they said, we were supposed to bring help, so I mean, it did.
We did not have a year like we did last year, where one trailer was there for 2 hours.
Yeah, we did not.
And we came up with an idea with that. We didn't have to do it, because I don't think anybody was there, so. Yeah, we just have to get creative and try and figure out how we can get more volunteers, board members to other people out here that can, help with traffic.
Yep.
So you didn't have to go do what you did and try to.
I don't know who the gentleman was in the black truck though, that was going the wrong way, but he was great. He blocked the road, and he just kept telling people, so he helped out a lot, but yeah, that was good.
So yeah, so everybody, whoever was there, I think there's everybody that's in this room except for a couple, thank you for being there and helping for the 3 hours.
Okay. All right, so we go on to management council, okay. Craft show was busy, it was a real good success. We're starting graduation season, we have graduation parties the next 6 weeks, or weekends. And then there was, you said sadly, there's a celebration of life in there, so we do have a funeral celebration of life going to be held here. So, but our next 6 weeks are pretty busy with that. And then she is working very close to having a township calendar that can be updatable online. So we're getting close with that. So that's what they've got, this busy season for graduations for the next 2 months. Parks and Rec, Jay, you got anything?
No, not really. Things are looking decent over there.
We're gonna talk about the beach ball later.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so, yeah. Good.
Okay. Planning. You guys had that really good.
We had a vision meeting last month. We got a lot of good ideas. Kind of the community wants to move forward. Last thing we got to do in the master plan is the goal section, which kind of what the vision meeting was about, and then hopefully we get it done here pretty quick. Get it rolled out.
I got a note here from Bob. So we agreed to pay MSU Extension $1,500 or $1,490 or something like that to help with the master plan. Well, Bob and Ben have done a majority of it in-house. So they revised that contract for the help with that meeting, the vision session, the end of the master plan with Mary Riley coming in to do that, and then Mary Riley doing the training down to $750. So we don't have to approve this. I just wanted to let us say that Bob and Ben, by doing the in-house work, not needing Mary Riley so much, the bill for her went from about $1,500 down to $750. So that, okay. So that he already voted on the $1,500, so that's just a reduction in that. That was in February of '23 that we voted on that. Anything else? Good? Okay. Zoning, noticing, I think we had about 5 new houses, four new houses, and we had quite a few new accessory structures, pole barns, garages, things like that. a couple decks here and there, but it's definitely building season. They're ramping up quite a bit. And then we are doing a street-by-street assessment of just zoning and violations, so we're gonna be starting on that here next month, so. All right, that's what I got. We have not yet, right? Okay. Call her, find out how far she's out. Okay, so we are going to have something here in a little bit, but public comment, we might as well start with that. Anybody sign up for anything? A lot of people here, nobody? Okay, all right. Now unfinished business, we took care of our work last month. So new business. This is the time of year because we're getting ready on the initial budget. And that is our fiscal year ends in June, so the 30th of June. The new fiscal year starts July 1st. So the first thing we have to do is salary resolutions. And we have a salary resolution for, I think our supervisor was the first. So, of course, that number goes wrong. So, resolution 2025-0502 will be the supervisor salary resolution for the fiscal year 25-26 of $16,000. So, sorry, you have to call roll call vote. Well, we need somebody that would support that and second that first.
I will make the motion.
Okay, and then just a roll call vote on that.
Nick, yea or nay?
Yay.
Meryl, yea or nay? Okay, yay. Rick, yea or nay?
Yay.
Star, yea. Jason?
Yep.
The next one, the next one is the clerk, so I think you're the first one. You're the third one, sorry. I numbered you.
Let me get my numbers right.
Okay. All right, so this is a salary resolution for the year that we number 2025-0503. This is for the salary resolution for the clerk to be for 25-26 fiscal year of 18-8. There you go. Need somebody to support and second, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Nick?
Yay.
Sorry.
Yay.
Meryl? Yay. Rick?
Yay.
Yay. Jason?
Yep. And then the last one is for the treasurer, and this will be resolution 2025-0501. And this is for the fiscal year 25-26, 18-8 for the treasurer. I'll make a motion to support. I'll make a motion.
Nick?
Yay.
Meryl? Yay. Rich?
Yep.
Star, yay. Jason?
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing, number 2, is the public services contract. We actually are a month and a half out on this. RJ from Public Services sent it over to me and goes, hey, can you sign this for us? If you want to keep, so do we want, I'm assuming, but I want to make sure that I need a motion that we sign and adopt the Republic Services contract for another 3 years, staying with the current service the way we have it.
Part of it.
Mm.
Cause this, when you do this, and we, the recycling's on here too, and our recycling is a little outrageous.
Okay. Well, we can drop recycling at any time if we wanted to. I'm not saying we want to, but what Jason's talking about is last year we spent $54,000. Now, this isn't for the operation or the machinery or the electric or any of that. This is just the trash itself. $54,500 to get rid of what goes in the compactor, okay? And then there was a $9,000 cleanup day on there, $9,700 cleanup day on top of that. So that was the trash. The recycling was $15 grand is what it cost us to get rid of our recycling. How it works out is when you get rid of a ton of garbage, because it's compacted, okay, it works out to about $46 a ton, according to this. When you do the recycling trailer, because it's not compacted, and there's about 2.5 yards in that thing, it works out to about $98 a yard to get rid of recycling. So it is much more expensive to get rid of recycling. And it's not that they charge us anymore, it's the pickup fee. Because it's $350 to pick up that container. So you figure $350 to pick up 2.5, 3 yards, $350 to pick up 26 yards. So that's where the difference is. So I guess we would have to, we can do this and then just get a tenure of the community to see if they want to keep up with the recycling program.
That doesn't include the box barn, does it?
No, the box barn that has nothing to do with the Norman Township. That is to the school. The school gets the money for the boxes, the school pays us a few bucks to kind of organize it and keep it in its line, keep it somewhat straight around. So that is all a dealer between the schools. So the one that sits at Brethren and the one that sits here, that is paper recycling that PCA does through Kennedy Schools. So that is just plastic and glass. Last year it cost Norman Township for the last 12 months, $15,863 to get rid of plastic glass. We all love the planet. We all want to, it's got to be what y'all think about as far as recycling and getting rid of it. That's it.
I have a question. If you were to get rid of the recycling, would that be a reduction in the rubbish fee that's assessed? Because you're not going to have that $15,000 extra?
Well, you would probably end up saving about, I'm going to say on a safe side, about half of that. Because we'd be putting it in the compactor and crushing it. So it would going out in more of a bulk rate. So we wouldn't save all that 15, no. And I will tell you, when we go for the special assessment, which will be next month, or we try to do the special assessment for trash for the next 3 years, it'll be next month we do the first resolution, then there'll be a little meeting before our July meeting and a little meeting for the August meeting, and then we accept, then we'll vote on it for the trash. We're probably looking at like $68 to get rid of your trash for the year, because Republic Services told us it's between a 5 and 6% increase for the next 3 years is what we should plan. We are very close to the amount we collect now is about what it costs us. It's very, very close. We might go, actually, after this cleanup, we might go a little over budget this year. So by doing that, and to be safe for the next 3 years, we're looking at 68, is what the board in the budget work session had kind of discussed a little bit. That is still, Dixon's at 98. Okay, so we're still doing it much cheaper. And then people say, well, go with the little green containers. If you break this $15,000 down for recycling, little green GLF recycling containers, that comes out to $8.50 a parcel. The GLF charges $17 a parcel. So it would almost double, or it would double if we went with the countywide. So actually, Republic Recycling is less expensive for Norman Township than the countywide recycling. Okay. Anybody have any questions after that? So this is removable. We don't have to have the recycling at any point. I mean, if the citizens say, hey, we don't want to do the recycling anymore, I still think we would be safe, and if we decided not to do recycling, we can always lower that special assessment amount. We can change it year to year.
But if you get rid of the recycling, your trash would just get that much more because everybody would be putting the recycles in the trash.
Exactly, but the recycles in the trash would probably be a little less expensive because you're crushing it. I mean, I'm not saying you save the whole 15, you probably save safely, you might save 7. Is $7,000 worth your feeling of what you've helped the planet out and then put stuff in a landfill? It's up to you. It's up to the people what they have to do. To me it is, but that's...
I like to recycle, but I go there and put my stuff in there, and everybody's got their stuff in plastic bags and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing in there that's not supposed to be in there, it goes to landfill.
And they do that with all the recycling trailers. And they do pick out a lot. They will pick out a lot. Yes, sir. Back to that.
Yeah, so is it monetarily feasible to compact recyclable stuff? I'm not familiar with the receiving end of recycling, but can they still sort it if the recycled stuff is compacted?
I don't believe so, and I don't know for sure, so I'd have to check into that, because the glass would be crushed and things like that.
Yeah.
It would crush into a ball, and then, the plastic bags and stuff, when it goes through a conveyor, I think we had Republic down here, and he said, it goes through a conveyor, and they'll pull those little plastic bags out of there, they'll pull metal out of that, so it's just the glass and the more substantial plastics that go through, and then those get separated out. So I think if they compacted it into it, they wouldn't be able to separate any of that stuff.
Yeah, because
I don't think they
the more garbage you drop into people's laps, the worse the forest gets. I've been a volunteer with the Forest Service forever, and I can tell every time that they make a restriction on garbage pickup or something, the woods fills up with shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It is true. I mean, if you think about $68 to get rid of a year's worth of trash, it's really not much. You're talking $400 to have home service, and like I said, brethren, because we have more people, we are cheaper per parcel. We have double almost double the parcels that Dixon Township has. So that's why their trash is, and they only do one, I think they only do 1 day a week, and we do 2. So some of that goes into paid, the ticket punchers, and run that thing isn't cheap to run, electric wires and stuff like that.
Do they still take it if it's contaminated as recycled? Or do they just end up putting it in the landfill anyways?
They sort, it depends on the contamination. At one time, we had somebody they weren't sharps, Ron, what do you call them? Just the plungers off of they were biohazards. So somebody, I don't think they meant to do it, but they were the plastic syringe parts. None of the syringe, the metal pointy part, was there. None of the sharps were there, but the syringes were there, and because they were syringes, that was the only one I remember us wasting when it went right into the landfill, because they weren't gonna have people sort it in case there was communicable diseases with those. It was probably 100% safe, because I think it was insulin, we found out. It was insulin, but they didn't like it. So that was the only one I remember them ever wasting for us. And there was a little issue with glass for a while, nobody was taking it, but they're back taking glass now, and recycling it, so. It's kind of good steward of the planet. Is it worth 15? Yes, Tim?
I think you just answered, I don't know how you found out, but they are taking glass back?
Yes, they are taking the glass. They are not scrapping the glass. So they have found buyers for glass. It's not a great market, but they are taking glass.
From what I understood when I talked to them probably 6 months ago, they said they were taking it away, and I said, well, if you're taking it away, you need to change your placards on your containers, and he said, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So I haven't heard that they were
Well,
getting
that's
back.
the thing, because some containers are marked, some aren't.
Yeah, and I mentioned that to him, and I don't work there, dude, but, just so everybody knows, if you watch that container throughout the week, not that I stare at it, because there's nothing I can do about it, there is stuff in there that should not be in there every week, every single day. I looked in the bottom of it, actually Bill pointed it out, and I said, if you wanna climb in it, you can. Somebody threw some really light gauge piping in there. I'm not gonna climb in it and get it out, but until we hear from Republic that, hey, we might end up hearing from them and say, you guys are throwing way too much wrong stuff in there, but.
And we got these
sorted.
GLF bins. I'm sorry, they get filled with garbage.
Yep.
I know that. I know people do it. So, let me know after the meeting what you think. Do you guys want us to keep recycling as a community or not? Yep. So, we can approve this and we can get rid of it. We can pull the recycling trailer anytime we want. So, yeah, that's what it is right there. It's $89 a yard and $482 a pickup for the recycling, and $60 a yard for, I guess these are the update numbers, $60 a yard for trash, and $454 to pick it up. So, okay, so can I get a motion that we re-up our contract with Republic Services?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Alright, so, sign that real quick. All right, next thing on the renewal is digital aerial photographs. We're at our 5-year again. So they're doing the countywide flyover of the GIS photographs. Our share and every township's share is $3,000 to purchase a 6 resolution, or 6-inch resolution of our township with LiDAR data, parcel layer, address layer, and road layer. So, does everybody understand? Huh? It's 3,000. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Does that get you one map, and are those maps available, I'm sorry, to the public? I apologize.
They're available on the public, on the county website, yes. Yep.
Okay, so that just purchases one, or that's just your portion, because they gotta do it
That's just our
anyway?
portion of the county.
Okay.
Because they're doing a flyover the entire county, so when they break it up by county paying some, and then each individual township, so 14 townships pay 3,000, and we pay 3,000 too, as a double township. I was wondering if we got charged a little more, but we don't. So even as a double township, we pay 3,000. I was just at Manistee Township's meeting 2 days ago, and they pay 3,000. So it's not like we're being charged, us and Dixon, we're the only double townships, Dixon and Norman, but we're not being charged anymore. So they break it up just by township, not by land area. So,
Thank
can I
you.
get a motion for the aerial photography? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so we just that. Okay. All right, now BS&A cloud switchover. I need a motion to, what was that, 10-6? I don't see that contract in here. Is that in here? Oh, yeah, there was a big BS&A on it. Yeah. So it is $66.95 for the programs, and then $3,800 for the switchover and training. And this is BS&A software that our treasury department uses and our assessing department use. What this is everybody in the state uses, or most everybody in the state uses BS&A. In the assessing program, it's the only accepted program. What's happening is this company used to have something called BSNA.net. So you had the program on your computer, it was laid out a certain way, it was on your computer, you had to back it up every week, every month, so that you had a backup in case your computer fried. The cloud is they do all the stuff. So you log into the cloud, just like on Google and anything else, and it's saved there, it's guaranteed saved, you don't have any problems. If Meryl was out of town, she could get in and do whatever work she needed to do. She could work from her house if she's sick. And it just allows for a much secure system, and we would have no loss in it. We would like to do it now because BS&A, the company, 80% of their employees work on the cloud now. There will be no more updates to BSNA.net. Within a year to a year and a half, they're going to send out a letter, you're done on this date, you have to switch. And then what I'm worried about is they do it during Merrill's tax season, it's not going to be a good thing. Because then it'll be, so we can pick and choose the time and how fast we switch over. Okay. There is no training cost for the assessing department because Great Lakes Assessing, our assessors, have already trained on the city of Manistee, Onekama, and Maple Grove. So there's no training for us in that. So, anybody have any questions on that? We're going to be forced to do it one time or another. It's either forced that everybody has to do it or forced at our own time. So.
But if we do it now, then we have control of when.
Yes, and we pay for BSNA every year. We pay .NET service every year. This is just the switch, is the little extra cost. So, can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all in favor to switch to BSNA cloud software? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that, I'll get okay. All right, beach wall. So we had, out of 7 companies, I had 3 get back to us, 4 actually. We were initially thinking a steel-driven beach wall, or we still are, and we got a bid from Swiderski Brothers that came in at $95,000. Yes. $95,000, and then we had one from Anthony's Outdoor Service that came in $95,700. This was for 326 feet of beach wall, turning our ramp from a 40-foot ramp, which is not ADA compliant, to a 70-foot ramp, so we'd have to rework the pathway going to the T-dot. So it would be a 30-foot, a flat 5-foot, because every 30 feet you have to have a flat landing area for wheelchair accessibility, and then another 30-foot ramp. So there'd be one ramp from one side and then steps on the other side. Taking the south wall, the south running wall, along Oak Street there, and making that 4-foot level all the way, so we can level that picnic area and everything else. It wouldn't slant, so we'll have level area on both sides. They were at 90, 95, both right about 95. And then they had options for custom-made post pockets every 8 feet that would fit a 4x6 post of $11,000. Or my suggestion to them is just use 3x5 tube steel, square box tube steel, and then we'll just shave the post a little bit on each side so it slips in. And then we'll do a wooden handrail, which will be done by the community. So, but this is just for the beach wall where the people want to go. Then, Reliable Concrete got back to me on a concrete bid for that beach wall. To do an 8-foot spread footing, so 8-foot footing with the wall so it can never tip over. It was $75,000 to do the same thing. So the board, I kind of want the board, I'm not asking that we approve any contract or anything right now, but if we do it with Reliable, the advantages are it's never going to rust. You know, with the steel wall, it's going to rust. It's not going to look pretty, but it'll last forever. I think the concrete wall will last a very long time. And we can do, right, Crystal Lake or whatever, we can decide that later. So I guess direction where we want to go, because then it'll be direction on, I got to figure out railing, if we want to go concrete, and all that. And then Tim Fisher met us over there, and I figured the excavating bill would be in the thousands. Tim said he wanted to do one last thing, kind of for our township before he retires. He will dig out the old wall, excavate the 8-foot trench all the way around for the concrete for $5 grand and backfill, and then remove the old wall.
Nice.
So that was very nice of Tim. I mean, it was kind of nice to hear the history because he was there when they put that wall in 30 years ago. And people will ask us, you know, why are we not doing wood? Anybody build treated wood today? It doesn't last. Nope. It'll never last. That wall's 31 years old, I found out. I can't believe it's lasted that long, neither can Tim. So this would be something I'd like to shoot for fall. If we could, if you guys, but what would you all like to do, steel or concrete?
Concrete.
Okay, so I can let Jim and Tim know that. And then we just have to I'll come back with a couple options on the handrail and stuff like that, and getting electric out. But Tim was suggesting maybe we put some actual running electric so we can get some low voltage lights on the beach wall for security and stuff like that. While we're doing it in Trenton, we can open it up from the old camera house. We have power there, so we can bring it over. So concrete is kind of the direction we want to go. Okay. Sorry, it took me 2 months to get all those bids back, but it was a lot, and like I said.
So with the concrete, are you still gonna have the handicap, accessible adjustments or whatever it was?
Yeah, the ramp would be
Okay,
70 foot
right.
also. It would be the same 70-foot ramp with a 5-foot, 30-foot, 5-foot, 30-foot, and then we'll have to just rework the dock,
Nice.
you know, the walkway platform from that. And then Jim is also gonna pour us, don't quote me on that, but I thought he included the concrete steps. He said he had a step. Yeah, he did. So on the one, you have a ramp from this side, and on that side, there'll be like 6 foot of concrete steps, and on that side, so you have access from both sides. All right. Not here, right? Okay, so Jack has a special presentation. I would like everybody to keep, we were kind of putting it off a little bit.
All right, a while back, Norman Township Fire had a pretty serious, a very serious incident happen. I would like to call Bentley Sanders.
Here, Bentley.
And so, Bentley, I don't know if you, it's totally up to you if you want to tell the people here at the township what happened that night. It's totally up to you. But what we're going to do, because Bentley was a trooper. I mean, this kid was hurting, and he was looking at us and just smiling like, I got this, man. And so I am giving him a tough as nails award and a Norman Township beanie. So wintertime comes, you can wear your stocking cap. And so, do you wanna, or it's totally up to you. You don't have to if you don't want.
I guess I'll tell you.
Okay.
So it was getting late towards night time. Me and my friend went for a ride, and my mini bike caught on fire with me on it, and it just blew up. Darn me.
So now I would like to call Logan Sage. Logan was with Bentley that night, and we are giving him, for his act, a selfless and bravery to help a friend. And so, Logan went above and beyond. He knew what to do when his friend's mini bike caught fire. And so his friend had sweatpants, if I remember.
Yeah.
Sweatpants. Sweatpants are extremely flammable. So how did you learn what you did? Did you just say, I gotta get him off the mini bike and sweat on his leg, or?
I don't know, it's just I felt scared for him because he's my best friend, and I just had instincts of helping him out, and I seen that he was hurting and in trouble, so I just did whatever happened.
Awesome.
Adrenaline going through.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you did a great job. You did a great job. And so, the members of the fire department and the community, we got a young man here that looking out for his friends and is going to continue to do that. And we thank you. Good job, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, well, that's it. I just need a motion. Okay, adjourn. Thank you.